So what the hell's going on with YouTube? They have decided to take a lot of the gun videos down, that sort of thing. I've heard people interpret the rules. I've tried reading the rules myself. I'll be honest with you. I've tried to read those rules and it reads like stereo instructions. The interpretation of the rule basically is that they don't want firearms, no method of manufacture of accessories, uh, and other crap like that. It sounds like they're trying to prevent people from showing people how to turn a semi-automatic into a fully automatic or simulate fully automatic. But the way they're talking, it's going to be. I mean, if you read the rules, it could easily be interpreted to say, well, if I show someone how to clean a gun, how to take it apart and reassemble it, because that's how you clean guns, then that could be taken down. That could be considered a violation of these rules. It very easily could be interpreted that way. If they just want to ban guns, then they should just go ahead and ban guns. I mean, that way people they would just rip the band-aid off, and people would go elsewhere, and they would lose probably not that many people on YouTube. I'm going to post this on YouTube, but I'm also going to post it on a place called Daily Motion. I'm going to parallel post for a while because I'm a Republican. I'm a conservative. I'm a Republican most of the time. They piss me off too, same as everybody else. But I'm going to double post for a while. I've been thinking about doing it to Facebook, but Facebook's just as bad. Facebook's been smacked down recently. They handed over a bunch of information in 2012 to the Obama administration so that they could run ads and they could get people's data and they could pass it out to those people's friends, that sort of thing. And now all of a sudden they turn around and do basically the same thing uh, to a Republican administration. So they were just handing all this information over. The DNC, someone from the DNC said that the Democratic National Convention people said that they walked into Facebook and they basically handed Facebook employees over to help them mine the data, which honestly makes sense from a business standpoint. If you're gonna sell people that data, you need to show them how to use it, how to get the data they want, and you need to make sure that they're following the policies and that they're not breaking the rules. That apparently wasn't happening. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. That'll all flush out too. There's a social media flush out coming, and I'll be honest with you. I got fed up with YouTube a long time ago and stopped monetizing videos just because they were being little bitches about copyright infringement. I had a video where I literally walked down the street and got in a car and talked to my wife. And that was pretty much the whole damn video. And they're trying to say, oh, you violated somebody's copyright. No music. It was the sound of cars driving by. Nothing that they could have possibly. It's okay. Somebody had it in for me and said that I violated their copyright. So I stopped monetizing. That kind of shit stopped because if you're not, because I wasn't getting any money from YouTube anyway. I don't think I've ever actually collected a dime from them, even though I hooked up my PayPal. But I mean, I've always thought, and I've said this before in a video somewhere, it was a huge mistake for YouTube or really anybody online to pay someone for content without a contract. They should have a contract that says what they each party expects from the other and what duties need to be fulfilled. You need to mark all that down in a standard boilerplate contract, and everybody knows what's expected of them. Everybody knows what to do. Everybody knows what the rules are. That's how it's supposed to work. That's why they invented contracts. And this idea that they just go willy nilly and let people put up what they want until it pisses somebody off. That's this guy in. Then this guy in was it Scotland, Ireland? Oh crap! Well, anyway, in the UK somewhere, put up a video of his dog making Nazi salutes and this kind of crap. At him saying horrible shit and the dog making this Nazi salute, and it was a joke. Okay, this guy has been convicted of insulting someone, insulting Nazis. Essentially, he was insulting Nazis with this, and now the judges came out and said, I think it was more than one. The judge came out and said that they deliberately misinterpret what he said, and it's like, okay, if you deliberately misinterpret what someone says, that's it. I mean, you can I can say the sky's blue, and you can misinterpret that however you want. I mean, you can just take it and say, well, that means blah, blah, blah. And you can make up whatever you want. You can just make up what that statement means if you deliberately misinterpret, because how far are you going to go in misinterpretation? Well, all the way to the end. Basically, they're just saying, we want you to go to jail for saying something you thought was funny that somebody might find offensive. But it's publicity for the government. We have to put somebody in jail for it. So you're going to jail, and we have found the man, and now we're finding the crime. And that is not how modern Western civilization is supposed to work. And that's kind of where this YouTube thing, a lot of people think it's going. I got to be honest with you, it's YouTube's platform, and they can shoot themselves in the foot however they damn well please. And if they don't want people cooking with, if they don't want left-handed people making videos, or redheaded people making videos on their platform, they can just come out and say that, and that'll be the new rule. And people are either gonna, there's other tools on the internet to put videos up. There's other ways of doing it. You don't have to go with YouTube. They are currently the biggest, but they may not be for long. The way they're going, if they're going to start throwing people off who make political statements, I mean, every time somebody turns around, they're making a political statement. All politics is local. So every time you make a decision based on what car I'm going to buy, where I'm going to buy a house, that could be interpreted however anybody wants to interpret it. I mean, it's just what I intend to say matters, and what someone else interprets that, well, that matters to them. So they should be allowed to come up and say, well, I interpret what they said this way. And then you should have a discourse going back and forth. You should have the ability to come back and forth to each other and say, have an argument, basically. You should be allowed to have an argument and argue your case for what you said, for what other people respond back to what you say, and not get the law involved. You shouldn't have the law. You see signs in Houston. I live in Houston. You see signs in Houston that says, talk to your neighbors, don't call the police. And yet that's exactly what this is all about. It's instead of confronting somebody who says something you don't like and saying, I disagree with you, I think you're wrong, here's why, they get the law involved, and the law's capitulating for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, so that's what's going on with YouTube. It's just a hell of a mess right now. I honestly think, the way the rules sound, they are trying to kick off several of the gun channels that I watch. I watch a lot of these gun channels. I live vicariously through them. I don't know. In my opinion, it's YouTube's space. It's YouTube's. YouTube came up with it. YouTube owns it. Whoever owns YouTube owns it, and they can kick off whoever they want, in my opinion. And the people who watch the videos, they need to vote with their eyeballs and go click somewhere else. But this is my opinion.